scintillating Monday montage on a Friday football by the mad producer, and I'm Paul Allen. Covenant claps for everybody in the world, but specifically the Minnesota Wild and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Covenant claps from 9 to noon, because last night was a double dagger Thursday. And our cohort, our coworker, and our friend, JG, put things in perspective about 35 minutes ago on the tweet machine at Guardsy. I hope every Minnesota sports fan has a wonderful day. We know all too well a night like last night rarely happens. Huge buildup, huge opportunity, and both teams delivered in a big way. Doesn't get much better than that. JG. Hey! We're galvanized. KFAN, we're galvanized on a double dagger Thursday. You know, two of our favorite teams closed indeed on a double dagger Thursday. Stars dead, Nuggets dead, and to those fan bases, truly, we are sorry for your loss. The night was a fantastic voyage. The vessel was named Double Dagger, and in St. Paul, the stars were shining. As the captain of the Double Dagger vessel, yours truly, I'd like to welcome the spry, gifted, talented Christmas colors to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. For the first time since the days people didn't scream at each other and blow vuvuzelas in the ears of perceived adversaries. For the first time in a decade, the Minnesota Wild advanced past the first round and beat this next group. And as we all know, because we are elite hockey minds in the state of hockey, the Stanley Cup hoisting sky is the limit. Let's beat these next guys on the ice. Colorado Avalanche. Roachy. Covenant claps for everybody in the world, specifically JG for the tweet to begin 9 to noon out of nowhere from under the cover of darkness. First time in a decade advanced past the first round. You beat these next guys, you can beat anybody. Oh, here comes a big switch in the music. Hey. Oh, that's so funky on a funky Friday feast. Wild. From the outhouse to the penthouse. From first round heartbreak to a Rocky Mountain high. Covenant claps from everybody right now, unless you're driving. Let's welcome some luminaries to the front of this fantastic voyage. We'll give them a bow as they approach the bow of the vessel Double Dagger. This guy scored as many goals last night as he did over the last 2 months of play. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the game-changing blue liner.
9.5 minutes to go in the third. It comes to Faber. Faber, cross ice. Hughes has a lane, walks in, fired one. They score! Quinn Hughes from the left circle, banked it in, and the Wild with 9:22 to go have a 3-2 lead.
Some say the Wild beat the Stars last night from A to Z. 9 to noon says, put a Q around the series. Hey! Hughesy! Put a Q around the Dallas series. Covenant claps for Quinn Hughes. And covenant claps for Billy G for making that move and the McCarron move and all the moves and all Wally and holy cow. Next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fantastic voyage on the vessel known as Double Dagger. We are broadcasting from the bow of this fantastic voyage known as the Double Dagger. And now we welcome a man who has 11 goals in the last 12 playoff games and proves shift after shift there indeed is bold in the name Boldy. And now it's the Dallas Stars face down on the mat.
Back of the net, a centering pass stolen. Boldy to the empty net again. He scores! Why not? Boldy seals the deal. In Game 6, the Wild have a 5-2 lead, and they're going to move on to the second round.
We saw it yesterday, about 9:10 in the morning. Nordo and yours truly was Senor Spotty talking to Eddie Olczyk about the Kentucky Derby. One player on the ice hoisting the puck near the ceiling of Tria Rink just so it could come down and what? He could catch it on his stick, drop it on the ice, and fire from the blue line for a boldy goal. First one on the ice. The early bird indeed got the Dallas Stars worm last night. Covenant clap for Matt Boldy and the hard work he's put into getting where he is. Matt Boldy and all of them. Covenant claps for all of you. Seriously. Wally's making himself $1 zillion. Tarasenko got the emerging Hunter hate fan base to sit down for a minute. The Foligno brothers combined for 11 hits because that's what the Foligno family does. And Colorado, here they come, roaring into action. The captain, Walsey, and Avalanche In-Arena Vox of all Voxes, ever to Vox, Rochi. They join the fantastic Voyage in the final hour. But a double dagger Thursday requires 2 daggers. And that now takes us to Minneapolis, where Jaden McDaniels has opened the eyes of the entire NBA. He's capturing the imagination of the Association Nation. Nobody calls out players by name. He did. And with some of the most prized dogs down last night, he scored 32 on 13 of 25 with 10 rebounds, 0 turnovers, and put Jamal Murray in a defensive vice that captured the imagination of NBA Nation. It's all they're talking about. No Dante, no Ant, no Ayo or Slow-Mo. No problem on a Double Dagger Thursday. They handled the no-count Nuggets and didn't even let them score 100. Didn't even get up to 100. Everybody scores 100. You couldn't score 100. 9 to noon. Super excited this morning. Cold called the head coach of this fantastic Voyage, Chris Finch. We did so super early in the morning, wondering if Finchy was able to catch even a wink of sleep last night, given the excitement.
No, not a whole lot. You know, the playoffs are rough. You can't sleep after losses, and you can't sleep after wins. It takes a long time to come down from some of these games. They're so emotional. I got to give a ton of credit to our fans. That building was on fire. It's one of the loudest buildings I've ever experienced in my life, night after night. So keep turning up for us. I know we're going to keep putting the work in.
When does the splash of cold water hit your face and you're like, oh, wow, Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, we got to jump on that?
You know, I was asked that question in the press conference, and, you know, we knew it was there, but I haven't dug into it at all. But that's the great thing about the playoffs, PAs. You know, the challenges just get harder and harder. They're playing probably the best basketball in the league and have done for a long, long time.
Yeah.
We feel like we match up well with them, of course, you know, when we're completely healthy. But, you know, we still have some really, you know, we still have some key components to give them, you know, trouble. And we're going to have to regroup here and figure out a way to get off to a good start in this series.
Yeah, I don't know about the NBA, man, but in the NFL, they have the 24-hour rule. So the way I look at it, you have until close to midnight to smell the roses with that Denver victory last night. Now, the Timberwolves now have more playoff wins the last 3 seasons, 22, than they had the previous 34 seasons, 21. Chris Finch, of course, the coach of all those teams the last 3 years. And when he joins us, we thank Second Harvest Heartland and twoharvest.org. Finchy is a board member. This is going to be a quickie here in the opening segment. Jaden's 32 on 13 of 25 with 10 boards and 0 turnovers. I mean, now that's backing up his talk about Denver's, as he said, bad defense, right?
He was outstanding all series at both ends of the floor. Takes the Murray challenge personally. You know, there's just some guys in the league where he gets that extra motivation and you locked in and you can see him just kind of dancing around screens. He's really hard to hit. He competes for absolutely everything. And then, you know, with his growth this season offensively, being able to put the ball in his hands, him come up with great, decisions at the right time. It paid off. It paid off in this series because obviously being down a bunch of guys, it was such a luxury to be able to turn to him. And he has that size to just get a good look over everybody. And he made a lot of tough shots last night, but that's how far he's come. And for us to be a good team this season, we knew we needed another step from Jaden McDaniels, and he certainly took it all season long and again last night.
And he when things don't go right offensively, correct me if I'm wrong here, he's emotionless. I mean, he's just so calculated and on point. Now, he missed a free throw last night and just kind of jumped up a little bit in front of your guys' bench like he was frustrated. But the calculated, seemingly emotionless, even-keeled nature that he has, that has to help him push through when things offensively may not be going his way.
Yeah, and that hasn't always been the case with him. And I think this is an incredible sign of growth and maturity for, a young player coming into his own on who he can be. He's struggled at times, was doing too personally invested in his offensive game, if his shot was going in or not. It might affect his emotions. He always competed, played defense, but sometimes he'd get the petulant foul as a result because he was mad at himself for something that didn't go well offensively. He's really leveled that out. He understands now, who he is and where he belongs, in this league. And also playing in these playoff series year after year, you just got to try to stay on an even keel as best you possibly can because they're long, they're intense. They can flip on you in a hurry if you're not in the right space mentally. And he's basically just cold-blooded in that way.
Yeah, he showed the league what he can do on a national stage. I mean, it was just so beautiful. In fact, he put Jamal Murray in a vice. That's the only way to put it. I'm not sure Jamal Murray scored a basket when Jaden McDaniels was guarding him, and so he scores on Denver. Then he shows them what elite defense looks like. Is that a fair way to look at it?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. I think it's much to be said, but what he said after game 2, but he went and backed it up. And he backed it up all series. He didn't just back it up for one game. In game 5, he got in early foul trouble. That kind of derailed his night a little bit. Mm-hmm. He didn't really let it get him down. He came back, better than ever and had his best game of the series when we needed it most.
Rudy almost had a triple-double, 8 assists. Are you kidding me with that? The left-handed slingshot pass for the corner 3 in front of the Nuggets bench, that was amazing. Also 0 turnovers for Rudy Gobert. Fair to say he and Jaden were like the co-MVPs of this series?
No doubt about it. Both those guys, Rudy's, defense on Jokic just basically won us the series in so many different ways because we never really had to go to a plan B. He was able to execute what we were trying to do to, bother Jokic at times, really stifle him. Jaden was the same with McDaniels. And then, again, these things that happen are season-long processes, All credit to the guys to keep trusting Rudy, to make the right play when you throw the ball to him. And we felt last year in the playoffs that we didn't maximize that element enough of our offense. And when Rudy got the ball, he made the right play. He found Nas for a left corner 3. He found TJ for a right corner 3. Both those things were huge momentum plays. And just super proud of Rudy, and I'm glad he's getting the flowers he deserves for being the player he is. Because we just love him, and he was huge in every capacity.
Amen with that, brother. Terrence Shannon Jr., a rolling ball of butcher knives at times. Those fresh legs last night befuddled them, didn't they?
They certainly did. It's a great lesson in being ready for your moment. TJ's had a really good finish to the season. After, what was admittedly a frustrating season for him, we all thought it was going to be a breakout year for him. But, injuries and inconsistent play at times has derailed that, but he stuck with it. He got healthy down the stretch. We were able to play him in games, maybe when we were resting people. Before that, he was getting situational minutes. He was really doing a great job in those situational minutes, which is another great lesson. Like, just, whether you get 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just crush the minutes that you're getting. Don't worry about the ones that you're not getting. And then when he got extended minutes in Orlando and Houston, he really filled it up. He could really score. We put the ball in his hands a lot. And what might have seemed like some quote unquote meaningless games because it didn't affect our standing, paid off with our confidence in him, his confidence in himself, his teammates' confidence in him as well. And it leads again to an opportunity like last night.
Colt called Finchy super early on Friday. It's a Finchy feast. They bounced the Nuggets last night, get the Spurs next. Couple of quickies to close. Mike Conley, in what ways did he provide some veteran, let's call it Conley calm, last night when things got hot?
Man, he made so many little small plays like defensive assignments.
Yep.
Was on point, 50-50 balls, got in there, rebounds. He's Mike Conley may not be the offensive weapon that he used to be at one point in his career. He's more of a timely offensive guy now, but he is still an elite defender. He is elite at chasing shooters, closing down space, fighting through screens. I was going to lean on him just because he's been there so many times and has so much experience. And that's what you need in a situation like that. You need the young legs and the guys like TJ jumping up and having career nights, but you also need the old head to be there running in the background.
Chris, from the outside, people here know Ayo, Dante, Slow-Mo, and Anthony and got nervous. Yeah. So, like, what was it like on the inside when the guys knew who was playing and what they were up against?
I think there was, it was complete calm. I think calm and confidence. I think all credit to our coaches. My message to the coaching staff was, hey, nothing but positivity, right now. No long faces. We can't let anybody think that, this is going to discourage us. I've had a pretty wild coaching career. One of the most formative things I've ever done was coach in the G League. When you coach in the G League, you're always losing your best players. They're getting called up. They're moving out all the time. And you just got to kind of figure it out on the fly. And I was leaning into those experiences, and not necessarily the tactical part, but it's the mental part, the approach. Like, how do you prepare your team? How do you message and lean into the things that you do have, and how can you reinvent yourself kind of on the move?
Last one, Bud. Thank you. Why do you feel the Nuggets chose you guys for the first round when they could have had the Rockets and an injured Durant?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I've not been able to figure that one out. They had us 3-1 in the season. I think it should have been a split. We lost a heartbreaker in overtime on Christmas Day there, but the last time we played them, I thought we kind of had the recipe. With so much familiarity, there's such a personal rivalry for both teams. I'm not sure why. I think, maybe they didn't want to mess with the karma or the basketball gods, by trying to manipulate it, but they had a choice. It wasn't like they were trying to over manipulate it, and they could do one thing or another. And they chose to play it out, and they got us. So our guys took it personally. And it was just kind of the edge that we needed.
All right. I'll call you Monday to talk about Wemby. Appreciate you, and well done, my friend.
I appreciate you. Thanks, PA. Take care.
Finchy. Zuki. Double Dagger Thursday. Here in the Twin Cities.
Wintersville sounds better in FM.
On to San Antonio and Wemby. Covenant claps.
I can't stop clapping.
I want some covenant claps. These are the good times. Yes.
Wintersville sounds better in FM.
Sorry about that, Dallas.
Loserville sounds better in FM.
Sorry about that, Denver.
Loserville sounds better in FM.
Ooh, what up?
9 to noon.
On to San Antonio and Wemby, and on to Colorado and McKinnon and McCarr. This is so freaking fun. Congratulations to all involved in those organizations. or as the Wild would go, the organization, because as our friend Aaron Sickman likes to say, winning is fun. All of this is courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon? Glad you asked. Talkbacks, the next two segments. Best way to find the Talkback machine, Nordo, would be which way?
Free iHeartRadio app. I'm sure if you're listening on the app, you already have as a preset. You'll see a microphone next to the play button. You hit that thing, give us up to your best 30 seconds, submit it, do it over if you need to, send it on in. I'll play it for you in the next one of the next two segments.
30 minutes, 2 full segments of Talkbacks and reaction to all of the action, ladies and gentlemen. Dealer's choice. Wolves or Wild? Wild or Wolves? What moved you with last night's double dagger voyage? There was no moderate chop, just smooth sailing into the second round of the playoffs. Fill up the talkback contraption and do your thing. We take them all of them. Confident, cocky, concerned, or constipated. Then the fantastic voyage hits port for the middle of the show for some football and Kentucky Derby chat. Then we set sail again at 11 with nothing but Wolves and Wild and Wolves, fun, frivolity, hyperactivity, and chill. 9 to noon is so giddy right now. We've decided it is now post time to give away some money via the cash thing, and Nordo has it by his side. But first, listen to this. Oh, that's so sweet. Good morning.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Enter the keyword family. Ooh, how about our local sports family right now? Enter the keyword family at KFAN.com. Good luck.
To say I was happy last night would be a complete understatement. I was confident in the Wild's ability to win that game and seal the series, but when the Wolves came out of nowhere and won, down 3 of their best players, holy cow. Yes. What a day in Minnesota sports. What a weekend it's going to be. Congratulations to everybody. See you later.
Bro.
Isn't that something?
Don't know your name. I love you. I mean, just the happiness in your voice. Let's see. Let's do a quick Denver Nuggets check here. Spencer Jones, 8 points.
Sorry, KFAN.
The key to the historically sound Denver Nuggets offense, Tim Hardaway Jr., 13 points on 4 of 7 shooting, but he did have 4 rebounds.
Sorry, KFAN.
Talkback machine, Wild Wolves, Wolves Wild. Welcome to the fantastic voyage. I am the captain. Next to me, the seaman, mad producer with that excellent Good Times montage.
Be the seaman.
Oh, yeah, do we have another title?
I don't know. I could be first mate. That's weird.
Well, you are first mate.
I get to wear a hat?
You're first mate 24/7, but seaman was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, we're surprised it did.
Slept with a smile on, woke up with a smile on. Let's go Wild. Let's go Wolves, baby.
Sounds of hockey.
Don't know your name?
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
We don't know your name? That was not terrible. We love you. We love you. We love you for voicing such happiness and joy, not only during the age of rage, but recognizing with Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and a double dagger Thursday, it never, ever, ever, ever goes that way. But it did this time.
But it did.
No Ayo, no Ant, no Dante, no slow-mo, no problem. Over in St. Paul. After the game, the well-respected Matt Duchene for the Dallas Stars, he had a really good 4.5-minute press conference in his locker room and spent some time going down the road as to exactly how good Coach Hines' defensive structure is, and especially 5-on-5. But, however, FIDA, Fairness and Dallas Stars Act, we would like to give them some low-key covenant claps for finding a way to muster a 5-on-5 goal after like 19 hours of not getting one.
Was a nice run.
You know what the final tally was? 254 minutes and 1 second.
Are you sure?
Between 5-on-5 goals.
Are you sure?
It's Mankato math. It's tried and true. It's pure.
Oh,
it's 254.01.
Mankato math saved face for scribes and NHL media. Hey!
It's a team effort in this town.
Indeed. Talkback contraption.
Talkback.
How about the unreal awareness of Quinn Hughes to find the Stars player's skate and bounce it off into the goal? Almost like he's using the backboard on a basketball hoop. One of the craziest goals I've seen in a hockey game.
Yeah, somebody had their eyes or their binoculars on healthy scratch Tyler Myers in the press box. And that goal that was just described by another talkbacker whom we love, the person claims they saw Myers after the deflection goal say,
"Get out of my face with that crazy stuff."
Put a Q around the series for Hughesy, Quinn Hughes, Zuki, Finchy. Talkbacks.
I actually want to play this. I think this is Quinn Hughes. Let me just fire it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of traffic back there.
Oh, perfect. So Quinn Hughes talking about that goal last night, and then we'll get to more talkbacks.
I mean, there was a lot of traffic back there. I was just, I knew Hartsey was going, and I was trying to just get it out to him with Otter coming out so far on me. But
Otter, though,
I feel like a bunch of opportunities throughout the series where I kind of, would have shot that or whatnot, and I just had, kept that in the back of my mind that maybe one of these times just chuck one back door and see what happens. So that's kind of what you saw there.
Did he point to beloved Jackson or Aaron Sickman like he did after housing the gold and give the signal, one more beer? 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. Hey, Sicky, can I get another? How about another? Quinn Hughes, 2 goals last night. That's as many goals as he has scored in the last 2 months of hockey.
Yeah.
Back to like March 3rd. And his last 3 goals, including one in the final regular season game against the Dallas Stars, came against the Dallas Stars. So his last 3 goals have been against the Dallas Stars. Close circuit to the Dallas Stars. He may not have a lot of goals, but regarding your defense against Hughesy,
the bit's not working. It's not funny.
Talkback contraption.
Big Daddy Vladdy's all I got to say. And way to go, Bill Guerin, getting Quinn Hughes. Congratulations to Wolves and the Wild. And I think that both those teams need to make a trip over to TCO Performance Center. So maybe they can rub off and get the Minnesota Vikings to win in the playoffs. Good job.
Hey, Vikings winning in the playoffs.
Hold on 1 second.
What you got?
Big Daddy Vladdy's all I got to say.
Y'all don't know football. Big Daddy Vladdy, that's all I got to say.
Man, that guy's doing half my montage work for me.
Hey, the Vikings, as the fantastic Voyage goes, we just welcomed a couple of Minnesota Wild luminaries and gave them bows on the bow. The Minnesota Vikings are on that fantastic Voyage. They just happen to be located at the aft. But you got to be on the vessel to sail into the postseason in the second round like the Wild and Wolves. The Wolves and the Wild did. Kyler Murray fakes a handoff to Aaron Jones, fires deep left side, caught by Justin Jefferson. Oh, he pitches it to Damon Claiborne, 2010. Touchdown! Fantastic Voyage. Shortly after the game, I believe Jaden McDaniels was quoted about playing the Denver Nuggets, and he didn't go name by name with the verbal assassination. He just basically said something along the lines of,
"I knew we was gonna beat them clowns."
Talkbacks 939. Good morning.
Talkbacks.
Good morning, Paul Nordo. Look, I was watching that game last night, and just seeing the Wild finish that series off the way they did, finally exercising the demons that is the Dallas Stars. The whole Norm Green thing, all of that.
Yep.
Man, I got to say, I had tears in my eyes. It was a beautiful thing.
We love you. The goalie Wally, Jesper Wallstedt. He's arrived for a bow at the bow of the fantastic voyage known as Double Dagger Thursday. And one of the coaches after the game in describing Wally's performance series long said,
he's got big balls.
What'd he say?
He's got big balls.
He came up big in ballsy fashion. Talkback machine.
Talkback machine, free iHeartRadio app.
Jeff from Sauk Rapids, Minnesota sports fan since 1965, sitting on Daddy's knee, watching the Twins and Dodgers in the World Series on a black and white. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time ever that both the Wild and the Timberwolves have advanced to the second round of the playoffs together.
Mm-hmm.
Go Wolves, go Wild.
Indeed.
You could tell Jeff was right there. He wanted to howl.
Wanted
to do it, Jeff. I don't know where. Well, you're from Sauk Rapids.
Super
Appreciate
early.
you. Don't know where you are. I know it's early. Get that coffee down.
Super early. Ooh. If
permit yourself to howl on a Friday morning, please.
If basketball players, like baseball players, had walk-up songs, this would be Jaden McDaniels. He's straight gangster.
Yes.
Emotionless, expressionless, calculated, and cold-blooded. Good evening. I'm Jaden McDaniels, and I'm about ready to put you in a defensive vice and score 30 on you. I'm Jaden McDaniels. Hey!
Talkbacks. John from Egan. I really think the Wild match up incredibly well against Colorado. Better than we did against Dallas.
He's going to do it.
In a puzzler,
he's going to do
Colorado had the 28th best power play during the regular season.
John, you're going to do it.
Our fourth line should dominate their fourth line. And as long as Wally keeps playing the way he is,
yeah,
we're going to the finals.
He's doing it.
Where's the howl? I thought we were going to get a howl.
Going to the finals.
Oh, going to the finals. So one's going to the finals, the other is going to the final. Kirk Cousins has a couple of questions about both teams last night.
You like that?
We absolutely loved it, especially Wally's Stonewall performance as we put a Q around the series. What else?
You like that?
Jaden McDaniels. Terrence Shannon Jr. Seriously, Finchy spoke glowingly of him. But the free TJ was in play last night. 35 minutes, 24 points, 9 of 20 shooting, 5 of 5 at the line, 6 boards, and no turnovers. He blew up right in front of your very eyes or ears on KFAN.
How about Rudy with that pass? I can't remember who was on him, but Rudy gets the ball.
The left-handed bit?
The left-handed chuck for the massive triple in the moment to TJ.
Shortly after the game, Chris Finch entered a jubilant locker room, looked at all of his players and coaches and staff members and said,
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Now look here, Wild Wolves, Wolves Wild, free iHeartRadio app. Make KFAN your preset and come on in here with Wolves and Wild thought. What you thought about that fantastic voyage last night. The last segment, the next segment, and sprinkled in during the course of the radio audio show, your talkbacks, including right around the corner on your home for double daggering everybody, 9 to noon.
Talkbacks.
Hey, this is Kurt. I'm a truck driver. Driving last night, listening to the Wild game. It was so exciting. I was fist pumping. In my truck on my way to Pierre, South Dakota. Those two guys that do, Tom Reed and Joe, who do the play-by-play for the Wild, fantastic. Such an awesome night. Awesome. Congratulations.
You know why it was fantastic, Mr. Trucker, whom we love, is because
Wintersville sounds better in FM.
as in FM 100.3 KFAN, the leader in every single big spot matter you'll find. Talkback machine.
Jimmy K, King of the Rubes here, chiming into our boys, PA and Nordo. And man, nobody gave us a chance. Everybody thought we were going to get beat. They thought the Wild were done. They thought the Wolves were done. The Panicans were in full force. But you know what? I'm standing here next to Bob Hagan. And hey, what do we need in order to get to the finals for both these teams? I think it's time.
Time for two more. Time for two more.
Yes!
So brilliant.
Hey! Covenant clap for Jimmy K. And time for two more. Time for tiny legs. Talkback contraption.
Let's just give a shout out to the wonderful Vladimir Tarasenko for tying that game up there. Yeah. Huge goal from a huge playoff player. That experience is huge. Go Wild.
Love it. Short, succinct, to the point. And
50th playoff goal for Vladdy, by the way.
Wow. But damn, he is playoff immortality.
Hell yes!
And with respect to a player named Hunter Haight, those within the Hunter Haight needs to be elevated. I'm not even going to go down that road.
You gotta be paping me.
I love Mick Tocchet too much. He's not going to catch that sarcastic stray. Instead, Vladdy Daddy, he likes to daddy. Hey, Vladimir Tarasenko.
Just absolute chills watching both games last night. What an amazing night. The best part of the night, though, for sure, is definitely watching the Joker start to roost at the end. Definitely the best.
I couldn't get past the background noise.
Well,
sounded like you. I mean, just in the midst of nature.
Yeah.
How peaceful and serene is that guy living life right now?
You know what?
Little hoop action.
I mentioned Nikola Jokic.
Starting to roost at the end is what the transcript said.
Roost? Yeah, the cock definitely was crowing last night. But,
you like that?
Kirk, yes, we loved it. Rudy outplaying one of the very best players in the world, almost mixing in a triple-double. Yes, we like that. And Kirk O'Chains?
You like that?
Yes, we love that.
It's time to drop the puck.
Because when they drop the puck, we know which team was the better team, not only 5-on-5, but as a full complement of a team. And they sent Dallas packing. We, the basketball team, sent Denver packing. Why? Because it was a double dagger Thursday.
That's unbelievable.
It's absolutely amazing. Talkbacks.
Great day to be a Minnesota sports fan. Love seeing it. And now this is for anyone who thinks Chris Finch is a bad coach and they need to look for something else. That was a masterclass in what to do when you don't have your key players and how to put boots on throats. So all those Finch haters, you can crawl back into your caves because that was a great game.
Finchy. Finchy, Zuki, Husey, Finchy. Not really apprised or familiar with those Finchy needs to leave opinions. But nevertheless, do know this. Under the leadership of Chris Finch, the Minnesota Timberwolves have made the postseason 5 consecutive years. And under the leadership of Finchy, the Minnesota Timberwolves over the last 3 years have 22 playoff wins, which is more than they had in like 30 some odd years before that. That number was 21. Yes, the cock was crowing. Talkbacks.
You found the Sounders again.
Oh, what a glorious morning. Hi, guys. It's Christy in Bloomington.
Hi.
Just wanted to take this opportunity to send a sympathy card to the Denver Nuggets. You essentially lost to the Iowa Wolves. And as far as the Wild goes, I couldn't be happier. And I would like to take this moment to ask a favor of Jamie Benn. Please work on your hockey skills, sir, and lay back on the acting.
Hey! Way to go right for the heart, my lady.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, that was absolutely succinct, terrific, to the point, and that's what we do 9 to noon at KFAN. We have the talkback contraption, and these segments are all about y'all. They're all about you, including this one.
Hey, PA. Hey, Nordo. Mankato math, always on point.
Oh, thank you.
Just wondering how this compares to the 02-03 Wild making the Western Conference Finals, and then the 04 Wolves making the Western Conference Finals. Just like to get your thoughts on sort of the attitude or aptitude of the town in comparison to where we're at right now. Thank you.
What in the hell are you doing?
Yours truly was 3-4 years into AM 1130 KFAN and the PA and Dubé show. I remember it rather vividly. I remember Jean-Sebastien Giguère following the Anaheimers bouncing Gabby in the Wild. We couldn't score. I mean, we just could not score. Then down memory lane we go. After the series, there was some pads-related terrorism that emerged, and that Jean-Sebastien Giguère, nous regardons la télévision pourquoi, allegedly cheated with his pad size. So there was that. Down memory lane we go. The Timberwolves beat the Denver Nuggets in a first round matchup.
Yeah, in 04.
Yes. And then they went on to beat Sacramento in
7.
A dramatic finish.
Stinky Peja, right?
And then they would lose to the LA Lakers because Sam Cassell had a bad back, which means the MV3 was MV2.5. Kareem Rush, Kansas Jayhawk basketball go crazy. Kareem Rush was like,
What in the hell are you doing?
he hit 6 3-pointers at what used to be called Staples, or maybe it was the Forum, and he daggered Flip Saunders, may God rest his soul, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. What's vivid to me is that year, yours truly had the opportunity to do sideline reporting for Chad Hartman and AM 1130 KFAN when we carried the Wolves.
Oh, that's sweet.
Chad Hartman was the Vox. So it basically worked like this. All right, well, what's it pay? All right. Well, what kind of seats you got for me? The rest of the playoff run if they happen to advance. So I worked that job, basically Chad being like, hey, let's go to PA behind the Timberwolves bench and blah, blah, blah. So I worked that job in the Nugget series and did so for 4 seats that were 5 rows from the court across the court from the Nuggets and then Sacramento and then the LA Lakers. So it ended up being a very cool trade. That is where I first met Josh Duhamel. I believe Josh was still with the soap opera, whatever soap opera he blew up with, All My Children, General Hospital, X amount of lives to live. So that's where I met Josh Duhamel, who sat 2 rows in front of us. I also had perfect eyeball range to Chris Webber trying to tie the game with a 3-pointer. I believe it was Game 7 against Sacto. And that sucker went around the rim, round and round and round and round and round, and popped out. And then everybody became joyous. That also was a time that I asked Denver Nuggets general manager Kiki Vandeweghe, down memory lane we go, for an interview, and their media relations guy said yes. Then I rolled up to Kiki Vandeweghe, and he was like, I never heard of this. Put a fat L on me, he told me no. So then I compared his point guard, Andre Miller, from a facial standpoint to a singer named Babyface.
You gotta be raping me!
That was the end of my conversation with Kiki Vandeweghe. You want those skull stories? There's one.
That's a beautiful skull story.
Alec Lewis of The Athletic joins 9 to noon next.